Everybody, MiltonCraft, man, on a mission. Hope you have a great day. Want to come by and chat with you real quick. This is going to be a talk that I've been wanting to have for a while. And I think I just need to go ahead and have this talk with you guys just to get it off my chest. And probably you guys are probably feeling the same way. And you need to get it off your chest as well. This is going to be an unfamiliar talk. I mean, not unfamiliar, unpopular talk that we need to have. And it's about how you should be able to start your own business. You don't have to always work for somebody else the rest of your life. You should be able to start your own business. Just think about it. When I grew up, we were always taught to go to work hard, get your degree, go work for a company and make a living and keep living, which is it's okay. It's okay. But sometimes you want more. You want to do more. You want to do something for yourself. You want to feel like you're contributing back to society and offering a service or something that can help somebody else along the way. And that's really what an entrepreneur is. It's some company or organization that offers a product or a service to help somebody fill a need. And you should be able to do that. So we grow up and we get stuck. We get stuck in thinking that in order for us to be successful, we have to work for someone else. And that's far from the truth. Just think about it. Today, I'm 56 years old, and I got let go at 56 last year. Ain't nobody hiring no 56-year-olds these days. I don't care if you got an MBA, a PhD. It's just the reality of the world that we live in. You'll send your resume to some company, some organization. They're not going to hire you because they're going to say you're too old to grow with them going forward. Okay, what can I do about that? You can't do anything about that. It is what it is. They're not going to tell you that because they don't want to be sued or anything like that. But that's just the reality of it. So let's talk. So if you're 18 to 25 years old and you're starting in the job market, have a goal in mind. Have something that you want to achieve for your life and for yourself. If that's working for them for the rest of your life, that's on you. But I think you have more inside of you that you could use to help you position yourself to start your own business, because you have dreams, you have goals, and you have ideas. Don't let any company hinder that. Because you're working with someone else does not mean you can't pursue your own dreams and goals. We get caught up so quick thinking that we belong to that company. That company defines who we are. We're part of this organization, and that's all we can do. That is the farthest from the truth that could ever be told. When I was, we got married, my wife and I got married in 1984. So our first year of marriage, I was working for a company. I was working long hours. I wasn't a factory worker, but I worked in a factory. I was a quality control auditor. So I would have worked long hours. We may work 12-hour shifts, and boy, I was probably 24, 23, 24, and that was some long hours. That's a long time to be woken on your feet. But I was doing it faithfully because I felt like that's what I needed to do in order to support my family. But I met a person while I was at that company, and she said, "You're too young to be stuck doing this type of work." And I'm like, I don't know what she's talking about. She said, "You need to start investing and doing something different. Let me teach you something that I'm doing that I think you could do well." So I'm like, okay. So what it was, she taught me how to purchase real estate. And I'm like, okay, hadn't been taught this, didn't know much about it. She walked me through the steps of how to do it, how to go by looking at property, purchasing property, getting the financing for the property. And that was my first taste of entrepreneurship. At 23 years old, guys, I got my first taste, and I've been nibbling at it ever since. So that was the start of us getting started. So we bought our first property at 23 years old. We bought a 5-unit complex, and we were excited because I could see us eventually leaving this job to go into full-time entrepreneurship. And probably 2 years in after that, we did exactly that. I left that job and we became full-time entrepreneurs. We did that business and we diversified. We bought into a cleaning service franchise. So we had a cleaning service and we had real estate. So it felt good to be an entrepreneur. And we were so excited and happy, started having kids, and then we had a family. And then the economic downturn hit. Things changed. Stuff went belly up. I had to go back to work. So I ended up going back to work. For a few years, I went back to work, finished up my education, got my degrees and all of that, and was okay with it. But there was something inside that was burning, saying, this is not you. This is not what you were called to do. There's so much more inside of you that you need to give, you need to share, that you need to do for yourself, for your family, and for society. And I always believe that. And for a while, it took me a while to understand that I need to change the direction that I was in, that I was going in. That I'm just working now just to be working, because I'm a little timid about going back and starting a business. But end goal is this: you have to do what you need to do for yourself in order for you to be content and happy in this life. We can't get set in thinking that somebody else has the answers for us. They have the solutions for us. They're the end all for us, that they can solve all of our issues and our problems. That is far from the truth. So someone who wants to start their business, do it. Someone who has a passion and burning desire inside of you to do something for yourself, do it. Because you don't want to find yourself in your 40s, 50s, even 60s out here working for an organization that has taken everything that you have to offer in this life for them. And you never got a chance to pursue the dreams and goals that was inside of you. You don't want to find yourself like that. And then you especially don't want to find yourself in your 50s getting fired or let go from a company because either they're downsized or they made a turn for something else. You're 50 years old. You got another 30 years to live. What are you going to do? Starve? You're not going to have a job. You can't find a job. So put yourself in a position where you can take care of yourself, where you can do something to better yourself. And that's becoming an entrepreneur. You don't have to wait for somebody else to do something. You create that business. You create the organization. You sell that product. You sell that service that somebody can use to benefit themselves and for you to sustain your livelihood. So step one, own it. Own the fact that you have a passion and a desire inside of you that you need to fulfill, that you need to understand that I can't hold this any longer. I need to get this out. I need to at least attempt to see how this works. And I'm not saying if you're working to quit the job. Use that source of income as a means to fund this project if you can. If you're out of a job, yeah, you got to go for it. You got to find ways to make money, hobbies or selling things, moving things, whatever you got to do to make the money to fund this business. So that's okay. But if you're working for a company, use some of that money as a resource to help you fund that entrepreneurship business that you're looking for. Number two, you're not entitled to work for someone else the rest of your life. Let me say that again. You're not entitled to work for someone else the rest of your life. You're not here to do that. You weren't called to be an employee for the rest of your life. You were called in the moment to be an employee because there's something you needed to fulfill or something you need to have sustained for your family. But that's not your long term. You don't have to find yourself committed and obligated to do that the rest of your life. That's not what you were called to do. You were called to thrive and to be successful and to do something worthy of being seen or done. And number three, forget the naysayers. Forget those who will put you down or say you can't do this. Do it. Do it anyway. Do it anyway. Do it anyway, because you have what it takes to do it. You've got that goal, that dream, that passion. I had it too, and still have it, because we're getting ready to go back and start some new things here soon that we'll be talking about soon. But don't let that fire go out. Let that fire burn. Let that passion inside of you be heard, be seen. Forget the naysayers. Forget those who will look at you like you don't know what you're doing. You're not called to do this. Overlook that. That's not your problem. That's their problem. So think about it. So just wanted to vent real quick, I guess, to say, hey, look, you don't always have to work for somebody else the rest of your life. Find a way to do what it is that you were called to do, to set yourself up to be successful. And you can do it. Become an entrepreneur. Become a business owner. Become someone who you really want to become. Because you don't want to find yourself 20 years into an organization, you get let go, you get fired, and you have no idea what you're going to do next. You've aged out. You're too old. The market has changed, and you have no idea of what you're going to do next. So put yourself in a position to always grow, to always expand, to always develop, to always learn, so that you can be worthy of being looked at. So, hey, MiltonCraft, Man on a Mission. Hey, guys, comment on this. I love to talk about this because this is something really I'm passionate about. I really didn't go deep as I needed to, but I'm going to talk about this some more in the next coming videos, because we really need to talk about being brave and bold enough to step out and do the things that you want to do, because I think that's something that a lot of us shy away from. And a lot of it is fear. A lot of it is because our family members and people that we know are talking negative about us. and they discourage us. So we're not going to be discouraged. We're not going to be let down. We're going to walk this walk so that we can talk this talk. Mr. Craft, man, on a mission. Talk to you soon.